I'm more at OwensboroRadio.com. I'm Rob Nichols reporting.
Honoring someone with an award, plaque, trophy, or just a unique gift? Then there is no better place to check out than the Trophy House. With their new location at 325 Park Plaza, they have everything you need to honor someone. Nick Clemens will help you with all your award needs.
Looking for a way to give back to our local farmers? Cromwell Media presents Meal in the Field. We feed a farmer every Tuesday in September and October thanks to your nominations. Visit OwensboroRadio.com to nominate a farmer who deserves a fresh, locally sourced meal on us. We want to give a super big thanks to our supporting sponsors: Electrical Equipment Repair, Mid-America Grain Solutions, Rockport Equipment, Holston Gases, and Doozy Doe's Bakery. Nominate your favorite farmer today at OwensboroRadio.com.
Protect what matters most with Home Mutual Insurance. Whether it's your home, your car, business, or life insurance, we've got you covered. Stop by 532 Main Street in Tell City or call 812-547-2363 for a free quote. Home Mutual Insurance, your trusted local provider.
And now, Western Kentucky weather on 102.7 The Game.
Here's your 14 First Alert forecast. Overnight, clear skies with a low of 66. On Tuesday, sunny and hot, a high of 92. Tuesday night, clear again with a low of 63. And on Wednesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high of 91. No chance for rain until late in the week from Friday to Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Lyons with your 14 First Alert forecast.
Offers apply, no refunds, commercial use excluded.
From the Floor Concept Studios. Legally, we're WLME 102.7 FM, Lewisport. Or you can just call us the Game. 102.7. 102.7.
Sir, it's Clark. Roger. What's our vector, Victor? Hello, sports fans, and welcome to
Live at 5.
It's Live at 5, and it's brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. And now, your host for Live at 5, Stephen A. Turner.
What's up and welcome to Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, dedicated to you, committed to justice. That's FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans in the captain's chair here in the Floor Concept Studios. And I got David Clark with me today.
That's right. You get Stephen B. Turner version of Stephen A. Turner. David Clark, I'm going to be with you till Thursday this week. And, boy, we got a lot of celebration to do today, Vic.
We do have a lot of celebration.
Look at these beautiful trophies sitting here for the people on YouTube that are watching right now can see it.
Well, you can watch on YouTube, Facebook Live, X Live now. It's all three of them going across, and that's brought to you by our streaming sponsor, Legendary Pool and Spas. And what a night it was. It's a KBA weekend. We had the KBA Awards last night. I'm going to be joined by Steve. He was able to call in. He had to go down to Virginia Beach. Him and Amber went down there.
He went to another beach.
Yes,
poor Steve.
Another beach.
Oh, man.
So we were able to record an interview with him here in the first segment we'll get to about last night. Him and Amber were there last night, and then after he won his award, Bud limoed him over into the private plane, and him and Amber went down to Virginia Beach.
They got in the chopper.
They
went over to the airport, got in the private jet.
Yes.
And
I will say the KBA Awards last night were tremendous. I mean, a lot of people talk about the fireworks show. The fireworks show they put on.
The controversy all over town. So I'm, Heather and I are sitting on the couch last night watching Sons of Anarchy, and I hear ba-boom, ba-boom, and I'm thinking, okay, what's going on outside? I need to kind of I got to pause the show, and I'm like, I need to figure this out. I don't know if it's gunshots. I don't know if it's a car backfiring. And all of a sudden, Heather goes, that's fireworks. I'm like, at 10 o'clock at night? Like, well, come to find out, the rumor that started was that it was somebody's birthday party downtown.
No.
Come to find out, KBA blew it out of the water.
It was the 80th anniversary of the KBA,
Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
And so they had DJ Shea down there after the dinner. They have a reception early. It's kind of a networking thing, and hors d'oeuvres, and of course an open bar, which is always nice. And and then they have a nice dinner. And during the dinner,
thanks for the invite.
Yeah, during the dinner they have a huge. It's a huge production. Their awards. I mean, this is like Academy Award type thing.
Yes, I've been there. Yeah.
It's tremendous. And then they had an after party with DJ Shea, who absolutely rocked it out down there. And then fireworks start going off. And when I got back to my room, later that night, somewhere around midnight to 1 o'clock, you know, it was all over Facebook asking about the fireworks. And I was like, I didn't realize it was that big a deal.
Oh, no, you can hear them all over the city. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of fireworks being lit off over the city this time of year.
Sunday at, around 11 o'clock is a different time than normal. But it was a tremendous show.
And, all the stars out here in Owensboro, a lot of the statewide media stars.
They were. Yeah. You get to see so many different, people that you grew up listening to, whether it be, Carl Nathy, who was always there.
Carl Nathy's. If you're a UK fan and you don't know Carl Nathy, I gotta challenge your fanhood.
Oh, without a doubt. And then, of course, the big thing last night was, Cromwell Media's own Jeff Nally.
Yes.
Getting the Golden Mike Award, which is the KBA Hall of Fame. And so he was inducted into the KBA Hall of Fame, and he is the voice of farmers throughout this entire state with the Cromwell Media Ag Network that he has run for, 40 years. From when I was little, listening to him, give me what the price of a bushel of corn is and what wheat is and everything. I mean, it's Jeff Nally.
Well, I start thinking biblically when we start talking about bushels of wheat and corn. I'm like, hey, wait, did the dollar just disappear? But no, it's just Jeff Nally with the report.
Oh, without a doubt. But it was great fun, and we'll still talk about it on, we got Beyond the Bench following us here on 102.7 a game tonight because you have double header Monday Night Football.
Yes.
First one, the coverage starts around 5 o'clock. I think that game kicks off at like 5:30. We will have game 2 here on 102.7 The Game. It'll start off at about 9 o'clock. You got the Raiders, I think, playing the Chargers, I think is what that one is. It ought to be a good one. So we'll have that here for you on 102.7 The Game. But what we're going to do is I'm going to jump back in the time machine because I made this call about 40 minutes ago, but we are going to jump on the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline, get Stephen A. Turner. We'll talk about last night and what it meant for him and I winning Best Talk Show.
And stay tuned because after this interview with Stephen A. Turner,
this is going to be the fastest 45 minutes in football.
We got you on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. So hang out. We got to flex a little bit here. Yes. But hang out with us.
Yeah. So let's get to Stephen A. Turner, the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline. Well, let's jump onto the Green River Area Federal Credit Union hotline and get my co-host here live at 5. He's down in Virginia Beach. He wins an award, goes on vacation. It's just the way it works. Stephen A. Turner, I mean, there's the diva coming back out in you, Steve. You have a big night last night, and then you're on the road to relax.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take time away, big night last night, but I got here. The sun didn't follow me here though. It's like 90 degrees in Owensboro. It's like 70 degrees and hurricane force winds. So much for the vacation part. Now, it'll be all work. I think me and Amber will just be enjoying the view from the balcony. I think at this point.
Well, that's the way it works sometimes. But let's talk about last night because it was a big night for Cromwell Media. This is, I think, just the second time you've been to the KBA Awards dinner, and talk about it for the people out there that it's a. When I always tell people, I was like, they put on like a great award show. I mean, it's legit an award show.
No, it is. No, it's actually my first time going.
Oh, you didn't go the last time it was in Owensboro?
Well, we were there. Remember, we did Live at 5 there, but I didn't stay.
Okay.
All right. We had somewhere to go afterwards. But the only thing I really took from it early was that I was underdressed. I think I was the only person there not wearing a full suit. But no, I mean, it was a great event. A lot of great people honored. Jeff Nally, I thought, did a great job. And made Owensboro proud for his Hall of Fame induction. It kind of set the tone for the evening. I think where we go like 3 for 4 on the awards that we were nominated on.
Yeah, we were 4 different categories. Won 3 of them. And did not win the live stream award. That went down to K105, who does a great job. And but no you're doubt. Right. I mean, when you talk about the Golden Mike Award, which is you're inducted into the Kentucky Broadcasters Hall of Fame. I mean, there's not been a broadcaster in the state of Kentucky that's probably been more to his audience than Jeff Nally, what he means to farmers. And he has been the voice of farmers for 40 years now.
Yeah, no, and he was great to share a booth with, and covered his son at Davis County. It was awesome to hear his speech. I thought he did a great job honoring his mom with the mums, and we'll be doing that again this October. Looking forward to that. But no, it was a great night. I mean, the awards ceremony in general is just very high class event. I felt like, and it made it feel a little bit more big time. I felt like.
Yeah, and then you get Kristen Martin, who wins the behind the scenes award. And I said all along, if there's ever a person like I got on DraftKings like last night to go bet it, and you had to bet like $1,200 to win 100. I mean, that's how big her odds were, because there's no better behind the scenes person than our very own station mom here in Kristen Martin.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I feel like she kind of holds the whole place together there, and very deserving. That kind of set the tone. And then Brian, of course,
and Rob,
and Rob on WBIO with the volunteer Owensboro stuff, and they do a great job with that. So it really just kind of set the tone out of the gate. And once they won, it was pretty much just money in the bank at that point, because we knew that between Live at 5 and Beyond the Bench, and then Let's Talk Racing, I mean, we knew we were winning the other one. That was a lock, because we were the only 3 nominated. So, at that point, it was just house money for us, I felt like.
It really was. And that the award that Brian and Rob, for people out there listening, it's called Uniquely Kentucky. And it is done by, people who bring, basically PSAs, public service announcements to their community for great causes. And they won for Volunteer Owensboro. And we've done this in the past on Live at 5. There's not a better thing you can do in Owensboro than highlight all the great nonprofits. They have that weekly segment every week. And that's huge.
No, it is. No, I had a lot of fun getting to meet a lot of those folks doing it on Live at 5 over the past few years. But no, it comes down to the talk show. I mean, I was more focused in on the Vikings game, which I'll need to issue an apology for even mentioning them in the same sentence as a contender. But that's for another day. And it was a good distraction. Kind of took my mind off of it a little bit. And then I heard when they went to make the announcement, I just heard Vic Evans, and I'm like, well, that could go either way. It could be Vic Evans, Bradley Payne, Matt Briggins, and but no, then I heard my name, and it is. I don't really do it for the awards, but it was very humbling to be, announced amongst all those great radio folks across the state of Kentucky.
Yeah, and I think part of this too, and we've talked about this off the air, and you and I have all kinds of discussions. Unlike Mike and Mike in the end, we're still very good friends and hang out and do a lot of things. And we talk about, and what went through my mind is, we've kind of used the Live at 5 platform, to highlight a lot of different things, but at its core, it is to bring as much attention to the great high school athletes in this area, in the ESPN Owensboro area. We now cover 19 high schools, and through all sports, whether it be, we talk volleyball, we talk soccer, not as much as some people would like us to, but, we only have an hour show, but football, basketball, baseball, every sport that's out there, we've done Live at 5 from a cross country event. And, and I think that, what the award meant to me was that other people throughout the state found a lot of value in what we do. And I, my thought was, and we've talked about this too, that, it's really easy as you get to our age, you start to get that get off my lawn mentality. And, this generation, they're soft, or they're this, or they're that. But what I love about our show is we get to interview so many athletes and realize that this generation, there's great leaders and great students and just great people that we get to highlight. And so for a state award show, or for a state broadcasting service to find value in that and say, hey, this is the best talk show of the year, that really means something to, it means something that what we're doing and the product we're putting out there means something statewide too.
Yeah, no, it's like I say, it's just a crazy honor. I mean, it's a very humbling, and I'm glad that people like it. I guess that's the main thing, because the more people like it, the more they support it, the more we're able to do, and the more spotlight we're able to give the athletes. And, that's my favorite part of the show, is just the relationships that we've made with families. We might have covered the guy 10 years ago, but we're still friends with the family, and that's been by far the biggest blessing to me, is just the folks that we've got to meet along the way, and the friendships we've got to carve out, and looking forward to doing it for another 10 years.
Yeah, you're well up over 1,700 shows now. I've got my 1,500th show coming. I think you're close to 800 now. I've got my 1,500th show coming up in about a month. So, here's for 1,500 more. But it was kind of funny how last night it kind of came full circle. I stopped by to congratulate Jeff. And this was during the reception part, kind of the, where it was the pre-dinner thing that they have. And, and his son was there. And there was a young offensive lineman at Davis County that we covered and talked about on Live at 5. And so it was just the way that has come full circle is just really kind of neat to look at.
Oh, yeah, so many. I mean, if we sit here and went down the list, we'd be here for the entire hour or maybe more. But But all these kids that have circled back around, it's just it's crazy to kind of see them grow up, because there are kids too, and it just if they can, if it puts a bigger spotlight on Live at 5, it's a bigger spotlight for the kids. Is the way I look at it. So it was awesome, man, and all the glory to God on that, because it wouldn't be possible without him. And just looking forward to keeping it going, man. Maybe we can do it back to back.
That's the goal, right? I will say this: at some point in time, Blake Smith with Let's Talk Racing and Payne and Briggins are probably going to win an award like this too. I would not be shocked to see them in the very near future with their shows to win an award. And the great thing is, I get to keep you as a partner for another year. You're not being forced out by Brad Payne.
That's true. I mean, if he'd have won it, my whole career probably would have been coming to an end today, and he would be sitting in the chair there. But in all seriousness, though, I got to thank you and everybody behind the scenes, and then of course Dave too. He deserves a big piece of it. He's filled in for me quite a bit throughout the summertime, kind of let me recharge, and just a great team in general to be able to, for me to be able to take the time I need to keep my batteries recharged. So it's not just me and you. I feel like it's a whole village of folks that makes it possible.
Yeah,
and the sponsors, of course, too. Without Foreman Watson Holtree, even from the very beginning on the ground floor, and all of our great partners on the show, none of it's possible.
Oh, without a doubt. And I will promise you, you don't have to worry, because, you and I have become great friends. And it's kind of funny how it all started. We talked about this when we won Station of the Year. It was just, I was doing TV and you'd run down there to look at our replay, to talk about it on the radio. And then who would have thought that 9 years later, we're out there accepting an award together as the best talk show. But I consider you one of my best friends, and I would not want to do Live at 5 with anybody else, Steve.
No, I couldn't agree more. And I think that's what makes it so good. I've been lately, we get done with the show and we wrap it up and we say, oh, that was a good show. And I'll say, it's good. It's good to us. It's good every day. No matter what mood I'm in, when I come in there or what kind of day I've had, I feel like I'll always leave with the laughing and the smile on my face. It always lifts me up. So it's a blessing to me, and I got a great partner, and it's kind of came together. So I'm just give God all the thanks, and just looking forward to, like I say, another 10 years.
There you go. Before I let you get out of here and we'll get back to the fastest hour in football, I got to ask you, it was a pretty decent night last night, winning all the awards, but did the Vikings sully it all a little bit with how they played last night?
Well, forget the loss. McCarthy being out with the high ankle already. The kid's played 3 games. He's been hurt majorly in 2 of them. Yeah, so the dream that I came into the studio with on Tuesday of last week is dead. So we'll see how it goes moving forward. But it's the Carson Wentz era in Minnesota. What else is new? Vikings fans don't have nice things. I should have known better.
I don't think they expect him out. it's probably maybe 1-2 games at most. It's not like Joe Burrow missing maybe all the way to, missing
no, it's not that bad.
2 to 4 months.
2 to 4 weeks. At the end of the day, if you're not available, though,
right.
It's just a bad look. Like I said, you played in 3 games as a pro and you've been hurt in 2 of them. So that's not a great start.
It's not a good start.
I'll always have that 4th quarter in Chicago, I guess.
Hold on to that. That will keep you. We'll see. Hey, man, congratulations. You and Amber, enjoy your trip down there. Like I said, I wouldn't do this show with anybody else, and it's been a humbling experience, but congratulations on an award that, you look back is that this was your baby when you moved, from the Homers over here and took over Live at 5, and where that program was then to where it is now. It's unbelievable where you have taken this thing to. And I know with a lot of help and a lot of different people, but
it's not just me.
But the mainstay, the mainstay there has been Stephen A. Turner. And that's something you can be very, very proud of, Steve, because what Live at 5 now is would not be where it is without the great Stephen A. Turner.
Well, I don't know if I'm not great, but I appreciate it. I appreciate the kind words. Like I say, it's just, it's natural. It's fun to me. So don't tell anybody, don't ever tell them I do it for free. That's the key, right?
That's always the key. Man,
especially Bud. I talked to him last night. Bud, I'm looking forward to that bonus check.
There you go. Need a raise. Definitely need a raise. But before, let's take a pause for the calls for Karen Gross, a realtor with RE/MAX Professional Realty Group. Your dream is her mission. You can follow Miss Karen on Facebook, search Karen Gross Realtor, or you can give her a call, 270-315-9810. And without people like Karen Gross, we couldn't do what we do here on Live at 5. But up next, it'll be the fastest 45 minutes in football as you're listening to Live at 5, 1027, The Game.
Foreman Watson Holtry is an award-winning law firm constantly setting the standard for excellence. Our attorneys are passionate, prepared, and persistent. Our proven results in cases aren't by chance. They are a result of a constant pursuit of truth and justice. That is our promise to you. Foreman Watson, dedicated to you, F.com.
From 5 to 8 in the morning with Unsportsmanlike, brought to you by Floor Concepts. Catch Evan, Canty, and Michelle breaking down the biggest stories, the boldest takes, and the realest reaction only on 1027 The Game. Your home for ESPN Radio. Unsportsmanlike delivers the passion every true sports fan craves, brought to you by Floor Concepts, where design meets durability. That's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings, 5 to 8, only on 1027 The Game.
Sports Country is celebrating 10 years. In the last 10 years, we've seen the rise of social media, a pandemic, and in sports, we saw the rise of new rivalries, the creation of the transfer portal. For Sports Country, they saw a location change in Owensboro and the addition of a second location in Bowling Green. Sports Country says thank you for supporting them for 10 years as they celebrate all month long. Sports Country, 317 Park Plaza Drive, behind Shammy's Car Wash, Owensboro's #1 sports fan store. Search for them on Facebook for events and specials.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Backed by popular demand, Legendary Pools and Spas by John Morais is here. If John has built your pool or spa in the past and it needs service, repairs, or just a little attention, he's ready to take care of you. He'd love to hear from his former customers, and if you're new, now is the perfect time to see why his work is legendary. Call Legendary Pools and Spas by John Morais at 270-316-1007. Reconnecting with customers, one pool at a time.
All cold and brisk autumn night, the spirits scream with much delight. Ghostly Productions provides the frights. Get you ready for Halloween night.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Katie Gunterman.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans, David Clark in the Floor Concept Studios. Amber, Steve, enjoy your getaway down there, but it's now time to get to the fastest 45 minutes of football. And here in segment 2, we're going to talk about Friday night a little bit. And, of course, it all starts at Rash Stadium.
Yes, it
as
did.
Owensboro takes down Catholic 34-21 in a game that I think the biggest shocker, not the biggest shocker, but I think that not everybody saw coming is if you look at it, I said Owensboro had to play 60-40 on defensive line, offensive line against Catholic's defense and offensive line. You know, keep it close. No, Owensboro's offense and defensive lines dominated. I mean, they outplayed Calicut on Friday night, and Evan Hampton goes for 209 yards, 3 scores. Kingston Dillard, Chaden Morris, they combined to go 8 catches, 128 yards. The Owensboro offense puts up 402 yards, and I'm not sure.
And that was after a slow first quarter.
Yeah, at the end of the first quarter, I think Calic had 79 yards, and Owensboro had 6.
Yeah,
Calic dominated the first quarter. But I thought they spread the field out well. I thought they got their hands into Morris and Dillard in the open field, make the DBs tackle them. And then when they tried to help out there, it was Hampton running loose for 209 yards and 3 scores in a game that Owensboro, needed. I mean, I think they needed.
Yeah.
Not that it meant anything other than, this is a team you'd lost the last 3 years. Yeah, the two big games this year kind of got taken to the woodshed. But I think this is Owensboro starting to find themselves out a little bit, and they're right there in the 5A scramble.
Yeah, I've said it for years, and all the viewers can see me wearing my Owensboro gear right now. But it's true, man. This game is a big deal every single year. If you think it wasn't, then you weren't at Rash Stadium Friday night. It
was packed. It was rowdy, and it was raucous.
Yeah, the environment was great. I've said, and I'll continue to say, and I'll say this next year when these two teams play at Still Stadium. This is a big game, and I feel like there's always more pressure on Owensboro coming into this game, because if you're Owensboro and you lose, well, you've lost to a 2A team, so now how are you going to win? How are you going to compete for 5A if you can't defeat one of the better 2A teams in the state? For Catholic, I always feel like they have house money, but I feel like for this year, probably the first time in quite some time, Vic, I feel like those roles were flipped a little bit. I feel like with Catholic having the big win over Bowling Green, the state ranking with the KSR poll kind of had the bullseye on their back.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
That's usually not the case.
No,
in this game.
and it's going to be that way. I mean, Owensboro's a school with 800 wins and multiple state titles, and they're the 5A bully, and they for long stretches, like when I was in high school, you didn't even think about Catholic beating you. I mean, it just didn't happen. Yeah. But now, once Lawson got there and Calicut trying to change their model, away from the ground and pound to spreading it out and throwing the ball afield, and then you had Coach Edge and Coach Morris, it's been relatively close. It's like, I think it's now like 17-14 or something in the last 31 contests.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So it's been relatively close. But yeah, I agree with that I think to this year, Catholic was probably had the bullseye on them, because you did go down and beat Bowling Green, who, that's a hurdle that Owensboro hasn't been able to figure out. And you had, like you're talking about, you had them a lot of times in the KSR top. They were in the KSR top 10 for the first 3 weeks. Owensboro, I know because I voted, it had some votes early preseason. A lot of people thought this was an Owensboro team that could be really good. You get blown out by St. X, you get blown out by Cal. But ain't no mistake about it, those two teams are top. In fact,
two of the top 4 teams.
In fact, on my poll, I had them 1-2.
Yeah.
I have Cal ranked as the best team in the state of Kentucky, and St. X right now is number 2, and Trinity is number 3. So it was no shame in those losses. Now, you would like to see them be more competitive, but I think this was a chance to kind of get that mojo back right before district play starts and put yourself back on the map in there on 5A football.
Yeah, and I think you said it, the talk going into the game was the dominant play of Catholic's offensive and defensive line. I think Owensboro's offensive and defensive line took a little displeasure to all that talk. And I talked about it on Friday Night Lights Out. I don't want to be redundant, but I thought Carter Vanover played extremely well at the center position. I thought, the offensive line from Owensboro, since some personnel adjustments have been made, kind of switched some guys around, they've really elevated their game the last 2 weeks. Having said that, you haven't played Cal and St. X the last 2 weeks, so and that's not a slight at Davis County or Catholic, but it just is what it is.
Levels to this high school football.
But having said that, I think the Devils' offensive line's improved tremendously, and they're going to need to continue that growth with the district schedule coming up. We saw what Madisonville did to Paducah Tillman, and then on the defensive line for Owensboro, I thought the combination of Clark, Muster, and Jackson James, and then you got Xavier Conrad coming down in that joker position, kind of like what Jeremiah Goodwin used to do.
He held Miles Edge to 61 yards. That's all you need to know.
You held Miles Edge to his lowest output total. And just not even, obviously I'm biased because he's my son, but even though Landon maybe didn't have the stats overall, he was in the backfield all night long.
Yeah, they just dominated both sides. Talking about different levels. Hancock, who was 3-0, found a different level too with Apollo, because Apollo goes out to GN Excavating Stadium. They win 42-7. Max Johnson, a big night, 293 passing yards, 5 touchdowns. Landon Bradshaw, how about 8 catches, 161 yards, 2 scores. Eli Williams, Tutt, and Badger all caught touchdown passes. And for me, the big number was the defense only gave up 123 yards on the ground and 148 yards total. 123 to a team that was averaging 300.
Yes.
On a defense that was giving up basically 300 a game.
Right.
A huge defensive stand.
Yeah, I went back and Curtis, Third Region Sports on YouTube. You can watch the game right now. And Apollo, the difference in the game was just team speed. Mm-hmm. Flat out, Apollo just has significantly more team speed than Hancock County. That's kind of what I was thinking coming into this game. I think we were all in agreement, I believe.
Yep.
You know,
I think everybody had Apollo.
I don't think everybody in the group chat had Apollo.
No.
So we'll leave that up for interpretation. But I think Apollo's team speed manifested itself. And for Hancock County, I thought they were moving the football. You know, go back and watch that replay. Like they were moving. Eubanks had some nice runs, but when Eubanks went out, all that kind of fell
when
apart.
he suffered a concussion, it kind of fell apart.
Especially when it was 14-0 Apollo, and then Hancock cuts it to 14-7, and then things just kind of fell apart from there.
And then DC gets a huge district win over Christian County, 60-7. Ridge Roberts runs for 101 yards, 3 scores. Jace Hunt had 93 total yards, a touchdown. And on the defensive side, how about Josh Coffey? Fumble recovery, 2 interceptions, takes 1 back for a pick 6. And all of a sudden, you're playing at Henderson next week, who got hammered by Gibson Southern. And the winner of that one's going to get a home playoff game more than likely.
I'm telling you, this Davis-Henderson game, I've got my eye. Like the game that maybe Vic 3 weeks ago, I probably wasn't thinking much about.
No.
All of a sudden now becomes super interesting. And I got to say, man, you know, I used to – you know, when Owensboro was playing those good Christian County teams from like 2007 to 2010, you're talking about like, you know, the guy that's playing in the NFL right now, Trice.
Yep, Trice.
You know, all those guys that were coming through Christian County at the time, and the Tandy kid that was playing quarterback. Like those teams were so good, and to see where Christian County is now, it's kind of sad, Vic.
And I think you can combine schools all you want with Hottown and Christian County. I don't know how much it's going to be competitive in 6A.
No,
I just don't know.
Yeah.
Muhlenberg goes to 4-0 for the first time since 2016.
Yes.
They get a big win over Ohio County. That one was 41-6. Wilkins scores 3 times. Hawker runs for 87 yards. Carson Lynch picks up 3 sacks on the day. And now Muhlenberg on 102.7. That's the game of the week this week, the Right Implement game of the week. Muhlenberg at Apollo, first district game. I would have, chalked this up at the beginning of the year as, ceiling or floor for Apollo a win.
Right.
I mean, Muhlenberg with that offense and Clay Wilkins. I still have Apollo as a favorite, but Muhlenberg, I think, can at least make them play.
So we're going to talk about a lot this week of this game coming up, so I don't want to steal the thunder of this game. This Friday is when I found out about Muhlenberg.
100%.
I mean, not been the
hardest schedule.
Not to discredit their win over McLean County, but you beat a McLean County team that had lost their quarterback.
Yes.
Right. And still trying to find itself. And you see McLean has improved exponentially. We'll get to the Cougars in a bit. But I love Clay Wilkin. I think this kid he gives you a puncher's chance. The thing about it is Apollo's starting to find their groove now. So this Friday, I think it's going to be a big crowd at Eagle Stadium. I can't wait.
Heritage Hills just keeps rolling. They shut out Southridge. Goldsberry throws for 166, runs for 81, 5 total touchdowns. Peyton Gray, 6 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. We'll have Heritage and Gibson Southern in 2 weeks. Heritage is now the new number 1 team in the coaches poll in 4A as Chittard went down. So Heritage Hills jumps up to number 1. Hart County, 28.
Do you think, before we move on real quick, do you think the overall schedule hurts Heritage Hills trying to win that 4A title? Because, like Chittard lost, but I didn't see who they lose.
It was really good.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure they probably played somebody really good.
I would say that, except for that Heritage this year with the sectionals is going to be a lot tougher.
Yes.
But I do wish there was a couple more games in there you could at least have to.
And I think they tried that with Apollo. I think they, and I think we all anticipated that was going to be a much closer game, but that's a credit of how good this Heritage Hills team. My thing is like, Southridge is usually a little bit tougher.
It's a down year for Southridge.
And they still have to play Gibson Southern, which 102.7 the game will be there.
It'll
for
be
that.
the Right Implement game of the week in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hart County takes down McLean 28-20. McLean with a valiant comeback, just couldn't get that big stop late. And in the game of the night, too, how about Grayson defeating Butler 15-14? It came down to a missed 21-yard field goal with 20 seconds left as Butler tried to kick a field goal for the win. Couldn't get it. I know Hanshaw scored a couple touchdowns. I'm curious to think. I think there was a fight and some ejections and some punches thrown.
Oh, okay.
And we'll see how that all plays out because I think Hanshaw was involved in that.
Oh, no.
So they got Greenwood coming up this week,
and you need all hands on deck.
You do. So
that's a Greenwood team that played with South Warren 2 weeks ago.
So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one. But that will be our little high school roundup.
We talked about it on Friday Night Lights Out though. Butler County, even though it didn't work out with the field goal attempt, mathematically that was the right
probably
call.
The right move.
Right call.
Yeah. We figured it out. They had been 66% from extra points on the year. and so if you're 66% there, getting 4 yards on 4th and goal from the 4, I think you do that less than 66% of the time. So you took the one that gave you the best the best chance to win the football game. When we come back, we're going to talk a little college. We'll switch over to college. We'll talk a little UK, Eastern Michigan, Cutter Boley, the savior of the planet. Is he? And also some winners and losers from last week in college football from Saturday. It's live at 5, 102.7, The Game.
Looking for the perfect place to grab a coffee and relax? Swing by the Crim Coffee House in downtown Owensboro. From handcrafted coffee to mouthwatering sweets, they've got everything you need to make your day better. The atmosphere, cozy and inviting. The location right in the heart of downtown Owensboro. So whether you're meeting up with friends or just need a little pick-me-up, the Crim Coffee House is the spot. Don't wait. Come see us today, 109 East 2nd Street.
Feel the power of the road beneath you. Rick's Tire and Service can make it possible. Offering comprehensive car care from front-end repair and brake work to air conditioning and diagnostic services. We're more than just tires. Elevate your ride with our range of aftermarket accessories. Get those wheels, tires, level up with lift kits, sleek bumpers, bed covers, and running boards. Even lights, you bet. At Rick's, we customize your vehicle to reflect your style. Rick's Tire and Service, the place where we turn your car from basic to fantastic.
Southwire in Hallsville has been family-owned since 1950 and strives to be generationally sustainable for years to come. They are one of the leading manufacturers of wire and cable used in the transmission and distribution of electricity. Southwire delivers power to millions of people around the world. Their mission, to be a preferred provider of solutions to the electrical industry by providing innovative products and services with exceptional quality and delivering on our promises. They also are proud supporters of all Hancock County athletics. Go Hornets!
Hi, I'm Zachary Clark with the Greater Owensboro Realty Company. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream space, or selling and looking for the right price, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. With proven results, local market knowledge, and real commitment to my clients, I'll make sure your move is the right one. Let's turn your real estate goals into reality. Call or text me today at 270-231-1576. And always remember, close with Clark.
At River Valley Behavioral Health, we know recovery looks different for everyone. That's why we created The Gathering Point, a free walk-in recovery support center open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It's a safe, welcoming space where you can connect with peer support, access resources, or just take a break in a judgment-free environment. No referral or appointment needed. Just walk in. To learn more, visit rvbh.com.
For over 35 years, Owensboro Garage Doors has been serving the tri-state area. We have exciting news. Our state-of-the-art showroom and design center is now open on Saturdays from 9 to noon. That's right. You can now visit us on Saturdays at 708 Breckenridge Street. Our team of experts are committed to providing exceptional designs and service. Owensboro Garage Door offers a wide variety of custom garage door options to ensure your garage door fits your unique needs and style. With the best service, parts, and prices, Owensboro Garage Doors will be your go-to for life.
When you work at Commonwealth Road Products, it's not about just making things possible, it's about making things safe. People who work at Commonwealth Road Products believe staying safe begins with me, bringing a not on my watch commitment to work, home, and play. Let's keep our kids safe when they play sports. Make sure their equipment fits right and works correctly. Pay attention to the temperature when outside and stay hydrated. Join us in saying no one should ever get injured, not on my watch. Commonwealth Road Products is a proud sponsor of Hancock County Sports Broadcasts.
Local sports at its finest, live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree, FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans, David Clark, now being joined by Brad Payne in the studio here, the Floor Concept Studios, getting a little bit of college talk. And UK takes down Eastern Michigan as the Cutter Boley era starts. Boley throws for, it was 12 of 21 for 240 with 2 touchdowns. If you're going to give him a grade, what kind of grade would you give him, Dave, for the thing?
I'll give him a B-. Okay. You know, I think it could be better.
Brad?
You know, I'm done being the apologist, right? That's what I said last week. I'm going to give him a C.
Yeah,
it's fair. He's a nervous wreck. And he should be, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's quick. I don't think he's going through his reads. Eastern Michigan is one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
They're so bad. And that's the problem. The problem I have is you gave up. I mean, the Cats run for 252, but they gave up over 300 yards passing, 131 yards rushing. You know, once again, that like right there at the end of the half, those middle eight, they're not very good.
It's embarrassing at this point.
I don't
Get
understand
the
the
clock
defense.
management together. Hire a guy, and all he does is just manage your timeouts, your situational down
you
and
gave up
distance.
10
It's not
points
that-
at the end in the first half that made it a game all of a sudden.
I can manage a clock better coaching ODCYFL or KFL than they can. It's
Said it last week.
unacceptable, man.
Give some 21, 22-year-old kid that is an absolute genius with numbers.
Yes.
And say, stand right beside this fat guy that can't coach and tell him when the hell to call timeouts.
Well, I'm going to give you some winners for this past weekend, this past Saturday of college football. You guys tell me where I'm wrong. I've got winners, LSU and Georgia, big SEC wins. Both of them kind of probably prove early that they're right there in the playoff hunt, even though Georgia's defense looked problems, but they're still winners to come back out and win the game.
I got questions about Georgia. They only beat Austin Peay 28-6 or 28-7, whatever it was, and I'm not sold on Georgia.
Put up 44 though when you need to. Now you got helped out with the kicker missing it from
I'm not too sure LSU's not the second best team in the nation.
The only thing that's going to keep them back is Brian Kelly.
I need to see more.
I think they may win despite him.
Hey, they won a national title with Ed Orgeron, so you know what it is.
Yeah.
How about other winners? Miami with the big win over USF.
You called that, by the way.
Yeah, well,
Not
so
me.
well,
I called it, but I didn't call it to blow them out. I really thought it would be close.
I
didn't think Miami's good, but I guess they are.
I mean, not only that, how about Georgia Tech taking down Florida State? So now you got Clemson. Now you got Miami, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Louisville,
things wide
kind of
open
like
now.
right there in the ACC. Is that kind of the SMU loses?
Is the ACC? Are they starting to get better? We talked about how bad they were top. You know, they just weren't top heavy like the SEC.
Right, they
was.
usually had like one or two
They
teams.
weren't deep at all. Are they getting deeper?
I think so. With Georgia Tech and Florida State gives you a little bit more depth over there.
Miami becoming Miami again, which we can't anoint Miami yet, but it looks like they're improving. And then
They'll blow a couple games they shouldn't.
Florida State, I'm telling you guys, Florida State, Castellanos. And they got their stuff back. I mean, I'm telling you right now, watch out for the Seminoles.
I wondered
man.
why they were so disrespected in preseason.
Well, they
went 2-10 last year.
I've said
did.
it doesn't matter what happens last year.
There should be no polls taken until week 4.
Agreed.
Week 4,
The
week 5.
college sports, it should not matter. Like I don't care about trends or anything like that. I mean, it's a total overhaul every
Well,
year.
I think Florida State brought in like 60 guys this year.
The transfer portal changes everything.
Yes, so it doesn't matter who they were last year.
Vandy shows that they may be for real in the SEC, going in and blowing out South Carolina. And this Vandy team, they all thought Diego was crazy when he was like, we're a playoff team, and everybody laughed at him. Are they a play? I mean, are they in the hunt for the playoffs?
Theo Vaughn gets
That's what I was going to say. That's
the biggest news.
That's the biggest story. First of all,
Gets to take his mom out on a date,
I'm going to apologize to my girlfriend now. Have you seen Diego?
Well, I mean, listen,
Diego's mom.
Theo Vaughn didn't make that bet out of just the goodness of his heart. I can tell you that right
he did
now.
his research prior to making that bet.
Theo Vaughn.
Nice
Good job.
Some losers. Notre Dame.
He won both
0-2.
ways there.
Notre Dame goes 0-2. They lose on the last play of the game. They're literally 35 seconds and 2 stops away of being 2-0 and being in the top 5. I've got Chris Ash at number 2 on my hot seat list as the defensive coordinator. Can Notre Dame? I don't even know if you can run the table and still get in the playoffs, but can Notre Dame run the table?
I guess it just depends on, and he said it. I guess it kind of depends on how everything else shakes out.
Yeah.
Like how many losses everybody else
just got to
has.
get one win.
And I'm not too sure it's not going to shake out. I don't see anybody that's running through anyone right now.
I would not be, other than like Ohio State and Penn State, who don't play anybody except 1 or 2 games a year.
Right.
Oregon.
Oregon looks pretty good too.
That Big Ten has flexed their muscles.
Vic knows
If you look at the top 10 right now, 4 Big Ten, 4 SEC, 2 ACC.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm usually the Notre Dame
hater.
Hater, I guess you could say. But one thing I'll say, if you look at Notre Dame's schedule, I know they're playing Purdue next week, but then they're going to go to Arkansas, which is a tough, anytime
USC.
you go,
That'll be
listen.
tough.
The worst team in the SEC on the road still tough. I mean, that's coming. Ask Arizona State how it went down in Starkville. So I will say this: I think Vic, hold the phone. I think Notre Dame's a good football team.
Oh no, they are.
I really do. I think they're a good
but
football
you're literally
team.
a minute. I mean, you had a stop in each game, and you're 2-0.
I think what surprised me the most is their defense.
Yeah, I was really worried when they hired Ash. Now it's a little easier to score a touchdown on the last play of the game when you get pressure the quarterback and the guy just tackles him from behind.
well,
how you blatantly miss that in the middle of the field, I don't know.
I know you're going to disagree. I thought you're right. 100%. That was I don't know how you missed that as well. I thought the kick return, I didn't see it. I thought they just got locked up.
Yeah.
Like, did you think it too?
But we'd have been better off if they returned the kick for a touchdown because we got the ball back with 2 timeouts in 3 minutes.
Yes.
You know,
that's a double whammy for Notre
I'd
Dame
much rather
fans.
side that. Other losers, is Dabo's time at Clemson, is this where Clemson needs to think about, hey, you've been here so long that maybe it's just time for a new breath of fresh air and a new voice to run Clemson?
He has told everyone how many 10-win seasons he's had. And he keeps on living in the past about, nobody said anything to me when we were dominating everybody. Well, again, everything's year to year.
Yeah.
Everything is you're on a 1-year contract in life. You're on everything that we do. That's the way that I approach everything, is really a 1 month. But in college football and college basketball and college period, it's 1 year. And these last 3 years, he's been behind in the NIL.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to catch up. So
in the portal.
He's playing catch up on those things. But even then, he's got the skill position players now that he needs to dominate the ACC.
I'm just not sold on Cade Klubnik. I think, you look at Lawrence, you look at Deshaun, like the run he had were with transcendent college quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I've always thought he was the most overrated quarterback in all of college football, maybe until my next loser.
Well, let me ask you this then. If he's not, and I know Manning's getting a lot of heat. If
rightfully so,
absolutely,
rightfully so.
But I'll say this in Manning's defense: we put him on a pedestal where he can't go anywhere
because of his last name.
Yes,
because of his last name.
The same way with LeBron. The same way because the only way that we can judge LeBron is by what we thought he was going to be, and he'll never match what.
Are you talking about Bronny? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, no, LeBron too.
LeBron.
I mean, when LeBron came in, everybody was like,
Jordan.
He's
the next Jordan. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's why there's so many, at least in my opinion, that's why there's so many haters. But I say this by saying with Klubnik, who is a good quarterback? Like who has impressed us so far?
For me, the best quarterback I've seen in college football is Castellanos for Florida State. Like that guy.
I like the guy at Oklahoma too.
The kid from LSU has done his job.
LSU. I think Nussmeier's probably the best. The kid from Oklahoma.
Now, can any of those play in the NFL?
I think Nussmeier can.
I think Castellanos might be able to. If he can if he can work on his passing just a little bit. He reminds me of he's kind of a hybrid between Mahomes and Kyler Murray a little bit.
And you all having to explain your reasoning tells me that you're not sure.
No, I don't think it's
that. But that's all I'm getting at is that I don't know who's a good quarterback anymore.
No, and I think anymore in college football, it's just so different.
Listen,
in whatever you got.
Give me, I don't care if it's high school or college. Now, the NFL's a little different. Give me the guy that's a dual threat.
Probably.
In high school and college, give me the dual threat.
I will say this.
You have to with the portal.
Yeah.
On a 1-year thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no more pocket.
You cannot ask any defensive coordinator at the high school or college level. The one thing you cannot do is when the play breaks down, if your defensive line don't get home and then your coverage is back there for 3.5, 4, or 5 seconds, when that play breaks down, you can't account for the run. When the quarterback can take off with it, it changes everything.
The other loser I had was Arch Manning's Heisman chances. He was awful. He was 11 of 25 for 114 yards. I do think C.J. Carr has been a really good first-year starting quarterback at Notre Dame. We just had to be 0-2. We'll take a short break right here. When we come back, going to talk a little NFL. Brian Dable just digging holes there for his job to fire him as they decide not to play defense. It's live at 5, 102.7 The Game.
We haul the weight, we climb the hills, we handle the mess and still show up strong.
This fall on the road at Vest, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Power meets unbeatable savings.
Don't wait. Right now, get 3.9% financing for 72 months and 15% off MSRP on select new Ram models.
Strength, speed, or family power, we've got your ride this season of adventure.
The Drive in the Fall sales event, only at Vast Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Your deal, your ride, don't miss it. Enjoy the ride.
And Cam Thompson with a performance by artist Aaron Kaiser, and they're teaming up to give cancer the boot. Saturday, October 25th at 6 p.m. at the Grand Stable in Philpott. Presented by the Thompson family and Take 10 to benefit Owensboro Health Foundation and the patients of Mitchell Memorial Cancer Center. Tickets, t-shirts, contests, and more at owensborohealth.org/givecancertheboot. This October, let's give cancer the boot.
Hi, this is Travis Holtry from Foreman Watson Holtry. You know, we will not allow anyone to deter us from what we are committed to. And we're committed to standing up for people and businesses who find themselves needing a voice because of legal issues. Our attorneys have the resolve it takes to stand up when tested without flinching in the face of adversity. We are Foreman Watson Holtry, and we're dedicated to you, committed to justice. FWHlegal.com.
Looking for a financial partner you can trust? Look no further than Green River Area Federal Credit Union. Whether you're saving for the future, buying a new home, or need a loan, we've got you covered with competitive rates and personalized service. Join the community that cares about your financial well-being. Visit Green River Area Federal Credit Union at one of our 3 locations in Henderson, Greenville, or Owensboro and experience the difference today. Your money, your future, your credit union. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Shelby Mudd, the 3rd generation of the Mudd's Furniture family, inviting you to stop by today and see the latest furniture styles designed for today's family. We have furniture for every room: living room, family room, kitchen, bedroom, dining room, and more. We feature the top furniture brands in America like Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Restonic, Bassett, England, and more. Stop by today and check out what's new this month. From our family to yours, Mudd's Furniture, in the heart of downtown Owensboro since 1951.
PSC Fiber is building the region's fastest fiber optic network to deliver essential internet to Perry, Spencer, and DuBois counties. With the customer service and tech support you expect from neighbors, access to high-speed, reliable internet has a positive impact on economic development and social well-being. The ways we communicate have changed a lot in over 70 years, and PSC Fiber is always leading the way. Call 800-511-4899 or visit us at pscfiber.net to see how PSC Fiber is here for you.
You never know what tomorrow holds. Hi, I'm Danette Mattingly with Kentucky Farm Bureau. I'm here to help you protect what matters with affordable health and life insurance options. If people need you, you need life insurance.
And now, more Live at 5 with Stephen A. Turner and Vic Evans on 102.7 The Game.
It's Live at 5, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, FWHlegal.com. Vic Evans, David Clark, Brad Payne sitting in. Don't forget, right as we go off to the air, it will be Beyond the Bench with Brad Payne, Matt Briggins. They've got some interesting lists that we'll do, and they'll talk some football. They'll talk some award ceremony. I'll make them look here, right here at this one here, right in the middle.
I've been
right
trying
there.
It's shining, too.
You're going to knock it down.
Yeah.
But let's go to a little NFL talk here as the Giants and Cowboys play a crazy game. It sets a record. How about 6 lead changes in the fourth quarter and overtime? I've got to ask, is that as bad a defense as you have ever seen the Giants with 24 seconds left when you know Dallas has Aubrey, who's like got a bazooka for a leg, and you're just like, hey, here, get to the 50. Just let me give you a free play to the 50 here, and then we'll hope you won't make the kick.
It reminded me of the Bills Chiefs with 13 seconds.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Yeah. And it wasn't like you were like, it wasn't like Dallas still had 2 timeouts.
Everybody saw it.
Right.
I mean, the announcers were like, hey,
are saying
you're way too far back here.
Right. It wasn't like you were
Aubrey's
guarding
legs.
the out of bounds play because when they had no timeouts, you can leave the middle of the field open. Say, hey, you catch it here. You're not going to be able to within 20 seconds get your team on the field.
Aubrey's story's great.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you were telling. I don't know. He was telling us about this where it was his wife.
Okay. Like he had no idea about obviously he watched the NFL and everything, had no idea about like kickers or anything. And she was like, hey, he was struggling in his soccer career and kind of felt it coming to an end. And she was like, I'm watching the NFL. These kickers don't kick as hard as you. And he was like, sweetie, like, I don't even know how to kick a football. And she's like, well, you kick a soccer ball a lot harder than they kick a football. He goes in and watches. He's like, I think I can do this.
Watches on YouTube.
He does. Yeah, think about that.
And
That's
now
wild.
he's maybe the greatest kicker since.
You take that kicker, and then the guy in Hawaii, the Japanese kid that just hit a game-winning field goal by watching YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, kiddies.
Watch YouTube.
Watch YouTube if you want to kick.
I'm gonna let Briggins watch some Live at 5 YouTube videos and maybe learn
take
something.
some notes.
Take some notes.
He's
there.
already in a bad mood today. It's fucking Monday.
Listen, since they changed the playoff format, I think it was in 2021 the last time. There's only 15% of the teams that start 0-2 have made the playoffs. Okay, it's a very small percentage of teams that start 0-2.
Only 4 have won the Super Bowl. I do know that for a fact.
Right. So if I look at it right now in the AFC, teams that are 0-2, not counting tonight's game, I think there's a chance of one of the first game of T being 0-2. Second game, both teams are 1-0. But you have the Dolphins, the Jets, the Browns, the Titans, and the Chiefs are 0-2. Can any of those teams be one of those 15% to make it, or is there this year that 0-2 is maybe not going to make it this year?
Chiefs definitely can.
Yeah, it's the Chiefs. That's
and I'm not too sure they won't.
Yeah,
AFC's bad.
Well, listen, there's a lot of reasons why the NFL wants the Chiefs to get it together,
and I hope they don't. You know, like I said, my hatred toward them is, it's just so large.
Well, it changes a little bit when you got, the Bengals are start 2-0, but now Burrow's going to miss 3 to 4 months, with the foot.
That's what I'm saying.
So, I mean, depending on an injury here or there, I just think the Chiefs' offense is so bad. Like, they keep people in games because it's just not a great offense. They don't have the weapons that they need.
It's rough, but their defense keeps them.
It does.
And as long as you're in the game, I mean, you hate on Mahomes all you want. As long as you're in the game, that dude, I wouldn't want to see him.
He's got a clutch gene, man.
Yeah, he does.
He'll figure it out. In the NFC, the teams that are 0-2 are the Giants, the Bears, the Panthers, and Saints. Ain't none of those teams making the playoffs, are they?
Lord.
Let me ask you this. Are you sold that Caleb Williams, is Caleb Williams going to be the guy in Chicago 2 years from now with Ben Johnson?
No. Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
No, I've gotten about 5 texts about Caleb Williams and how he's already not the guy.
And he's got an arm.
But he does dumb things.
He does.
And at the end of the day, the NFL stands for not for long when you're going to turn the ball over.
Right. Caleb Williams is just a better athletic version of Will Levis. But at the wrong time, he makes the wrong play that gets you beat and very inaccurate.
Here's my thing. I want to circle back real quick because our guy Caleb Farkas has season tickets to the Bengals. How do you
go to a game?
How do you go to the game? How do you drive to Northern Kentucky, Caleb? But if you're the Bengals, how can you not get it together up front? I mean, there's too many quality linemen out there that you could go get.
I saw a meme out there. The guy says 70% of America's obese. So you count me? We can't find 5 fat guys to put in front of Joe Burrow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He hasn't been hit more, but he's been sacked more than Andrew Luck in his first whatever.
Yes.
How many ever years or games or whatever that he's
He
played.
might have broke Tim Couch's record for getting hit more.
And been knocked down 15%.
It's unreal.
The time
It's
that
crazy,
he goes back.
man.
Now that to me was a stat. I mean, you're getting close to 1 out of every 5 times you're hitting the ground.
Yes. And you are the franchise quarterback. I mean, listen, the Bengals are going to waste. They're wasting prime Burrow.
It's over.
It is.
Hey, Cincinnati. D'Artagnan Tinsley. He played in your city in college. Come on.
How about Cincinnati? Any coach other than Zach Taylor? That's what really needs to happen because I think I don't know how you didn't make a move.
But the GMs are for me. That's on the GMs though. Like you have to get the personnel to protect your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, look, they kind of went all out and just said, "Hey, we're going to outscore you."
Mm-hmm.
So why not just go all in? I mean, trade every defensive player you have for an offensive line and just be like, look, beat us. You're going to have to score 50 if you're going to beat us.
Right. I mean,
the Bills have done it.
Well, I mean, the Oilers, the old Mouse Davis years with the run and shoot, and it worked. It didn't work out very well in the playoffs with the Bills when you're up 35-3. But
the Bills have scored 71 points.
Mm-hmm. The defense played better yesterday.
You've got to score 30 to beat them.
Yes.
Right.
And that's tough to do.
But they'll choke in the playoffs.
Unfortunately.
Well, not just that, though. In the NFL, every rule that's in the NFL favors the offense. Like, you're not going to have teams like the Ray Lewis Baltimore Ravens ever win a Super Bowl again where you can get a quarterback that you just say, hand it off to our 2,000-yard rusher, score 14 points,
we're going to
win the
guys
game.
A lot more than what you used to, too. You have to pay middle linebackers and cornerbacks a lot more than what you have to. So, you used to be able to load up and still get some good defensive players cheap. You can't do that now.
Am I crazy for still believing in Baltimore and Lamar Jackson?
Oh, absolutely. Not the best team in the NFL.
Because I still believe that there's something there that can be tapped into in a Super Bowl.
They beat the Bills, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I think
I still believe in Derrick Henry.
I think the Ravens may be the best football team in the NFL. Actually, I think the Packers are. I think the Ravens are a top 3 team in the NFL. The problem is for some reason in big games, and it's not even Lamar's fault. I mean, some of this is on Harbaugh, maybe the whole, just the whole circumstance where you drop a ball in the end zone where you should win that game. And then, all the things that went on where Derrick Henry never fumbles and he fumble. There are just certain teams that seems weird. Like that in the biggest spots make the dumbest, plays that you never imagine. Like Blair Walsh being one of the best kickers in the league and shanking a 27-yarder. That may be the Ravens. That's just maybe their DNA.
Not finding Travis Kelce with 13 seconds to go in an AFC championship.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean, how do you leave him open? How?
The Bills will find a way, boys.
How? Hey, tomorrow. Dave will be back with me. We'll have the Owensboro Health Top 10. We'll have Players of the Weeks, and it'll be a shuffled up Owensboro Health Top 10.
Yes.
But stay right here. Beyond the Bench is up next. Briggins, Coach Payne, and all their shenanigans. As it's Steve, be safe down there. Thanks for joining us.
Hurricane wins.
Yes, it's been Live at 5.
That's what he gets.
Brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtree. 1027 The Game.
You've been listening to Live at 5 on 1027 The Game. Special thanks to Foreman Watson Holtree for sponsoring the preceding broadcast. FWHlegal.com. Tune in next time for Live at 5 on 1027